we are live on our Facebook page. You can go check it out, facebook.com/Radio Day Hotties. And now, for us, Banajan, to go into our news updates for you guys, which is again, if you want to catch up in detail about the news, we can go to mediamahima.com.
Well, Banjan, there's updates with regard to the vaccine. The UK has started administering the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, making it the first Western country to start vaccinating its citizens outside of clinical trials. The UK has ordered enough of the vaccine to inoculate a third of its population, but for right now, it's available by invitation only for those age 80 and over. The first person to be inoculated was a 90-year-old a woman in the United Kingdom, and the second person who was inoculated, guess what his name was, Altababa?
What?
William Shakespeare.
What?
Anyway, care homes, staff, and frontline health and social care workers are also in line to receive the vaccine. In the United States, of course, President Donald Trump is expected to sign an executive order today prioritizing the shipment of a coronavirus vaccine to Americans before other nations, according to senior administration officials. The U.S. just had its deadliest week for the coronavirus since April, with 15,658 reported deaths over the last 7 days. Across the world, South Korea and Japan are also not taking any chances with regard to their pandemic strategy. So what they're doing is that they've deployed their respective militaries to assist medical staff and help with contact tracing. In terms of U.S., the vaccine in the United States, U.S. regulators have stepped closer to approving the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine and in offering hope of slowing a pandemic that has pushed hospitals to its brink. And also, let's tell you, Pfizer is on the cusp of winning the U.S. approval for the vaccine that it developed with Germany's BioNTech, clearing a hurdle on Tuesday when the U.S. Food and Drug Administration released documents that did not raise any new issues about its safety or efficacy. In other news, AstraZeneca and Oxford University have more work to do to confirm whether their COVID-19 vaccine can be 90% effective. Peer-reviewed data published in The Lancet showed on Tuesday potentially slowing its eventual rollout in the fight against the pandemic. Once seen as a front-runner in the development of a vaccine against the coronavirus crisis, the British team were overtaken by US drug maker Pfizer, whose shots with a success rate of around 95% were administered to UK pensioners on Tuesday in a world first hailed as V-Day. Detailed results from the AstraZeneca Oxford trials have been eagerly awaited after some scientists criticized a lack of information in their initial announcement last month. However, this Lancet study gave few extra clues about why efficacy was 62% for trial participants who were given 2 full doses, but 90% for a smaller subgroup given a half, then a full dose. Of course, there is more research and study that needs to happen in this case. And also, Badijan, many people are, everybody's like, oh, yeah, let's roll out the vaccine. But what after the vaccine, right? Britain became the first country in the world on Tuesday to roll out this COVID-19 vaccine, right, by Pfizer and BioNTech. The country's National Health Service is giving priority to vaccinating people over the age of 80. Now, here is what people getting the vaccine should expect. So, somebody who gets the vaccine, this particular vaccine has been developed with new messenger RNA technology using a manufactured fragment of the coronavirus's genetic code. And this is injected into your arm. The immunization is given in 2 doses, 3 weeks apart, and has been shown in trials to protect up to 95% of its recipients from contracting COVID-19. Pfizer has said side effects in trial volunteers were mostly mild to moderate and cleared up quickly. The most severe side effects occurred after the second dose, which is basically fatigue in 3.8% of the volunteers and headache in about 2% of the volunteers. Older adults tended to report fewer and milder adverse events. Now, what kind of protection does this give? The vaccine prevented the COVID-19 illness 7 days after the second injection, which is about a month after the first shot. Clinical trials so far have not been designed to determine if an immunized person can still spread this virus to someone else. Some vaccines, such as hepatitis A, do provide such protection, known as sterilizing immunity, but others do not. COVID 19 vaccine makers focus trials on determining whether the drug stop people from getting ill, not whether those people can in turn become transmitters. It will also be several months before it becomes clear as to how long the vaccination will actually protect somebody from the coronavirus infection. Until then, it is better to avoid the pub and the other in-person gatherings with too many people, says Dr. Anita Sheth, who is the infectious disease specialist at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. Does this vaccine mean that we can go back to normal life? Since there is no evidence that the immunization prevents further transmission of coronavirus, no vaccine is 100% effective. Scientists still call for continued vigilance, including mask wearing, hand washing, and social distancing. And as with all vaccines, it may really work great in certain patient subsets, but not as well in others, is what they're saying. In the meanwhile, let's tell you what's happening in California. Most Californians faced heavy new restrictions yesterday aimed at slowing the spread of COVID 19, while New York's governor threatened to ban indoor restaurant dining in New York City as the United States feared infections would continue skyrocketing. Restaurants in Southern California, San Francisco Bay Area, and the state's agricultural San Joaquin Valley shut for all but takeout and delivery.
Yep.
Playgrounds closed, stores reduced capacity, and hair salons and barbershops have again been shuttered.
Yeah.
The moves affected about 3/4 of the nearly 40 million people in America's most populous state. Gavin Newsom, California's governor, issued an order that allowed some schools to continue to hold classes, but LA Unified, the largest state school district, closed campuses that had been partially open to offer in-person services and tutoring, affecting many special needs students. In San Francisco, Ellen Scanlon, 43, read with dread a closure notice at a playground she frequents with her 2-year-old. I understand it and we're going to comply with it, but it has been very tough, she says. And Newsom's directive applied to places where fewer than 15% of ICU beds remain available, so far affecting Southern California and the San Joaquin Valley. Localities in the San Francisco Bay Area, as we know, our county, even health officer Sarah Cody, also announced a shutdown or basically a shelter-in-place order ahead of time itself. So Dr. Fauci, Anthony Fauci, the top infectious disease expert, said on Monday that the state's action would rescue them from probably getting their hospitals overrun.
And Kubajan, all these things, keep one thing in mind. If you're going to go out, avoid touching men for sure, please. It's very important. And also, please follow women.
Excuse me, what does that mean?
Yeah, avoid touching your mouth, eyes and nose. Instead, follow women, wash your hands, obey social distancing, mask up for sure, exercise and eat well. And N stands for no unnecessary traveling.
Oh, God.
So, avoid men and follow women.
Okay, fine. That's funny, Alto Baba. Seriously.
Hey, please don't take it as a
People
stalking
might take
thing.
it as a stalking thing. Exactly.
No, but actually, this is something which I found a very interesting meme. COVID time, we actually had a wonderful meme going out, and hey, come on, almost all these people think of all these things, just smile, right?
Yeah.
So one excuse for the ladies to say, I'm not avoid touching you, their husbands. Very good. Go ahead. Use it.
Well, another Trump campaign attorney, Jenna Ellis, who was helping lead the president's legal challenges to the results of the U.S. presidential election, has contracted the coronavirus. The source familiar with the situation has told Reuters. She had been working side by side with Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani, trying to overrun President-elect Joe Biden's November election victory, and last week sat next to Giuliani, who had also contracted COVID-19 during a Michigan state legislature hearing on the election where few people wore masks. In terms of the election itself, the state of Texas is now aiming to help President Donald Trump upend the results of the U.S. election. It said on Tuesday that it has sued Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin at the Supreme Court, calling changes to these states made to election procedures amid the coronavirus pandemic as unlawful. The long shot lawsuit announced by Republican Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, was filed directly with the Supreme Court rather than with a lower court, as is permitted for certain litigation between states. Supreme Court has a 6-3 conservative majority, including 3 justices appointed by Trump. It's still not over, Bandujan. Let's not forget that. It's still not over. Looks like this is going to go on and on. There's a reason why he's sitting quietly in the White House. He's not sitting quietly. He's not coming into the public eye. I have a feeling that they're going to try to do something else altogether. A coup underway. In the meanwhile, President-elect Joe Biden will nominate retired Army General Lloyd Austin to be his defense secretary as soon as Tuesday. A person familiar with the decision said, and will probably introduce the health team to lead his administration's response to the coronavirus pandemic. Also, in some news, technology news, Tesla Inc. unveiled a $5 billion capital raise on Tuesday, its second such move in 3 months, as the electric car maker cashes in on a stellar rise in its shares this year. The company's shares touched a record high on Monday, pushing Tesla's market value above $600 billion and further cementing its position as the most valuable auto company in the world, despite production that is a fraction of rivals such as Toyota Motors, Volkswagen, and also General Motors. In Britain, Britain's competition watchdog said tailored rules should be used to regulate tech giants such as Google, Facebook, and others on Tuesday, giving it new powers to harness the potential of digital markets and drive innovation. Apple has announced, guess how much for the AirPods now, Altu Baba?
Don't tell me, $25?
What? No. In order to boost holiday sales, Apple has now announced something called AirPods Max, which is $549, pricier than some iPhone models.
Wait, hold on. So, what? $500 for AirPod, which you put in your ears?
Yes.
And what is this called?
It's a set of wireless over-ear headphones, which is $549 a piece.
Sorry, it looks ugly.
Pricier than some of its other popular phone and tablet products, in a measure to likely boost sales over the December holiday period.
No, not good. Not good at all.
And apparently it'll have a 20-hour battery life and will be shipped from next Tuesday. And the other aspect, another news item that's coming out about Apple has threatened on Tuesday to remove apps from its widely used App Store which do not comply with an upcoming private feature allowing users to block advertisers from tracking them across different applications. So that is another thing that's coming out. In some semiconductor news, Bandujan, Marvell Technology Group on Tuesday rolled out a set of semiconductors aimed at a new wave of 5G networking gear designed to let telecommunications carriers mix and match equipment more easily.
In fact, we got a little bit of preview of this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We had a detailed discussion with the people from Marvell. We can't tell you, the sources are all unknown.
Yeah.
Not known to you, at least.
In the past, mobile network equipment from makers such as Nokia, Ericsson, and Huawei Technologies was largely proprietary, made up of custom chips and software, and difficult to intermix. But US government restrictions that have crippled Huawei's ability to source chips have sped up the adoption of so-called open radio access network technology, where any vendor can assemble industry-standard chips and software to create interoperable 5G networking gear. And that's where Marvell has come out. So if you want to catch up on that, you can go to mediamahima.com. In news from India, Bandujan, the farmers are saying that, farm leaders are saying that the Bharat Bandh that happened was excessively successful, and they want to shift the protests now to Ram Leela ground. They claim that they had an impact in about 25 states. In addressing a press conference at a protest site in the Singhu border, they said that the Super Bandh made the government open its eyes and ears. And yes, Amit Shah is sitting up and paying attention, and he's saying that he's going to announce another round of talks, some more vigilance in this particular matter. And in China has been developing several military camps in their depth areas all along the LAC since the 2017 Doklam crisis to enhance their preparedness during military conflicts, government sources from India are saying. And China and India have been locked in a bitter standoff along the LAC in eastern Ladakh since April-May this year. It is still not subsided, Banujam. And for sad news for some people in Andhra Pradesh, if you have family members there, heavy metal content in water has caused an outbreak of a mysterious disease in certain parts of Andhra Pradesh. And in some cricket news, a judged player of the T20 series for his superb show on the bat against Australia, India all-rounder Hardik Pandya on Tuesday said that T. Natarajan, who is a newcomer, deserved the player of the series more than him for his outstanding bowling performance and handed over his trophy to him. So more on all these you can catch up on MediaMahima.com. That's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Bay. We'll be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Really, we'll be live at 5. So don't forget to tune in. Have yourselves a beautiful, terrific Tuesday. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe.
तेरी छोटी छोटी सोच क्यों है जी ओहो बाजी हो उखड़े उखड़े क्यों खड़े जी हंसता तो हंस देगी दुनिया भी हाँ जी ओ आए जो on the floor कुड़ी तो खूब मचाए शोर तू भी झूम लेना इसकी बीट ते कुड़ी नू नचने दे हाँ नचने दे तू आज लगाने रे ढूंढ
Bandajan, this is your darling Faltu Rani, and let me tell you, Bandajani, that all these beautiful tracks that you're listening to right now are special Dihari picks that we've hand-picked just for you.